Peace and blessings, family. Welcome back to another episode of Learn with Shavern. Okay, so I read this really dope article about this 7-year-old little boy. His name is, I had to write it down because I wasn't going to remember, Nicholas Booma, right? He's 7. He's from Snellville, Georgia. Let me tell you what's so amazing about this young man. First of all, he just published his first book. And the book is called Kayla and Kyle, The Walking Dictionaries. So first of all, let me tell you guys a little bit of a background. He is the product of clearly a wonderful, loving environment, right? In my previous videos, I have been stressing to you guys to love yourself, to attract the love in your life that you want to attract, right? To love your kids the way you should be loving your children. This young man is absolutely a product of that. Okay, kudos and much love sent to his parents because his first book is being published in the Library of Congress, and he's 7, and he's melanated. Let me throw that cherry on top real quick. And that's like so big. These are the type of examples that I show my son to encourage him and let him know that anything is possible and productivity is the most important thing in life, right? Not indulging in folly and allowing the mind to remain clear so that good ideas, good things come and get fostered. Now, the book is so cute, by the way. I will post the link below, so if you guys wish to order a copy of the book yourself, I encourage you to do so for your children. I am a huge advocate of showing my child images and characters that look like him. That's really important for the sense of self and building the foundation of the sense of self. Who does self identify with? Well, self identifies with what it sees in the mirror itself. So I'm really, really big on characters that resemble my son. So Kyle and Kayla, the book is actually about these twins named Kyle and Kayla, and the twins are in 2nd grade, and they are running for class elections to be president of the class. And this is so cute because I'm like, this little guy is 7 years old. And for him to come up with these concepts, so me being the inquisitive mind that I am, I'm going to do a little bit of research because I'm like, look, these aren't like your typical everyday kids. The irony of it is that the article describes him as he's a typical everyday child. He plays tennis and basketball and plays chess. No, that's not typical. Okay, that's typical probably where he is. That's typical probably in his environment. But it is not typical for a 7-year-old to be playing chess. Right, but I just thought it was amazing. I wanted to share that with you guys. I always encourage our young people to do amazing things, to try anything, because there's no limit. The only limit that exists are the ones that we create, or the ones that we teach our children exist. There really is no limit. We are limitless beings, right? Absolutely, because God is also infinite. For my religious folks out there, and if you identify yourself with God, then this should be an easy concept to understand that you are limitless too. Just like God, you are limitless. And I'm not saying you are God, you are a God within your own right, or goddess for my ladies, right? But the God, the big shebang, is limitless, and so are you. And we must absolutely encourage our children to be limitless in all of their talents. Whatever talent they have, encourage that. Okay, prioritize. It's funny, right? I've mentioned in my other videos, like, I'm PTA president at my son's school, and you'd be surprised at the things that parents say they don't have money for, but then you see them pull up in like a new car or have a new bag or something like that. Clearly you had the money, but the thing for your child wasn't the priority. All right, a lot of people need to take a step back. I encourage self-care 100%. Like, you always want to make sure you're taking care of yourself first. But life is also about balance. And if you are always taking care of yourself and neglect your child as the result, that is not good. That is not a balance. If you're taking care of self, you should also too be taking care of the child, more than just clothing them and making sure they get to school every day and feeding them. Okay, teaching them things. Showing them things, learning new things yourself so you too can teach them to keep them ahead of the game. You don't want your children to fall behind in life, right? Reflecting your own experiences. Is there anything that you wish you would have known when you were younger? That right there, teach that to your child. That's what will put them ahead of the game. Okay? There was a young lady that I spoke with earlier, and I was talking with her, and one of the things I told her, at that age, when you're 14, 15, 16, the best thing you can do whenever like a young boy tells you, oh yeah, I love you and stuff like that. Like for my young girls out there, understand this. In order to love, you have to have life experience, right? The person that tells you I love you, observe, how do they love themselves? Whenever somebody tells you I love you, do they really love you, or is it just words? Not just with their actions, but how much do they love themselves? Because the reflection of themselves will truly reflect to you how much they really do love you. Okay? I love you so much that I make sure that I'm 100% for you mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. That's how much I love you. That's true love. That's unconditional love. Because if my four selves are in check, what do I have to worry about other than what's currently in front of me, right? And the task set before me is for me to accomplish just that task and then move on. Right? That's like unconditional love, loving without condition. That starts with self. I love myself unconditionally, how I currently am. Right? Not, oh, I love myself when I look this way, or I'm gonna love myself when I have X, Y, and Z amount of money in my bank account, or I'm gonna love myself when I get this job title. No. I love myself right now on this current date and time. And I love myself in the current place I am. Though you may desire to acquire more, right? You have that desire to want more, to be greater. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to love yourself from where you currently are, and not after you attain that thing that you think will actually create the love for you. Self-love is very important, and teaching your children self-love is also important, and loving themselves unconditionally, because your children love you unconditionally. They do. Because you're all they know, depending on the type of relationship you have, but they love you unconditionally. And the best way you could teach them true love is by loving yourself, so that they know, okay, yeah, love starts with me first. Once I love me first and all of me is in check, then I could think about loving somebody else outside of me. Okay, if this is what you're still currently working on, then you have no right, no business in trying to come into union with nobody else. Actually, you know what? I think I mentioned that a few videos ago on when should you date, right? If you guys are currently going through a transition in dating, check out that video, when should you date? I go into detail about that. But I encourage with you guys self-love, because this little boy, Nicholas, is absolutely a product of his parents both loving themselves so much to the point they poured into him all the love and knowledge. And out of that sprung forth something greater. He wrote a book. He's 7 and wrote a book. If anybody is familiar with residual income, homie is 7 and he has created residual income for himself already, and it's amazing. And I am so happy for him. I am so happy for his parents. I encourage everybody, like I tell y'all all the time, if you have an art, if your child has an art, foster that art, cultivate that art. Right? Cultivate. What does it mean to cultivate? When you cultivate the land, you prepare the land for the dropping of seeds, so that when the springtime comes, the seeds can sprout, right? Those seeds are your ideas, your art. Okay? Cultivate the land. Cultivate your environment, your situation, so that your art can grow. You can capitalize off of your art. You want to do that. Absolutely. And it makes you feel good, follow your passion. Because when you do things that you're passionate about, you attract that same passion via the laws of attraction. Okay, whatever it is that you do is the same things you attract. So if you're feeling down, that's what you're going to attract. But if you're feeling good, you're feeling motivated, you're feeling determined, and due to the law of continuation, and you consistently stay that way, the more of that you will attract for yourself. So I wish you guys a positive, productive, powerful day. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and becoming Patreons. Peace and blessings, family.